Eye view. Now onto the serious stuff, and we start with the Tranzams, the cars that have become New Zealand's premier racing class. And once again, it's over to Wayne Munro, trackside.
And at the head of this premier class for the Noel Leeming Transam race 1 at Manfeild, Jimmy Richards come back from Melbourne to race this series in this and the Transam lights, and he's got the Bartercart Mustang on pole position. So nice work from Richards. Andy McElray coming off the second spot on the grid. Got some work to do. This is in car with Andy. There's Wayne Huxford in the big Chevy Capri back in the field. Back with Andy McElray again, trying to work on Jimmy Richards through the infield. Oh, and Stephen Johnson has got the move on McElray. So Junior Johnson, Dick Johnson's son, in the sister car to Jimmy Richards' Mustang, moves on through. That's the 3 car. AC Delco car of Andy McElray. What a crowd there. Des Wall at the back of it. And now comes the pressure. Junior Johnson trying it on Jimmy Richards, his teammate, but a man with so much more experience than him. And yet that doesn't mean to say it counts for everything. Junior Johnson really coming to shine in this New Zealand series. Of course, with a lot of help from Dad. Brocky back there in the midfield in the ACC Camaro. But in the 3rd spot, Andy McElray. That's the lead of the Chevs. 2 Fords out front. Oh, Junior Johnson getting just a little bit of a loose there as he came through the first turn onto the front straight, and that's why, really getting the power down and making a big move on Jim Richards. McElray, witness to all of this, looking for any gap. Oh, and he's hit Jimmy Richards. He's knocked him around. And Richards sitting there in the midst of all this pack of cars. Well, Richards in trouble. McElray in second. Junior Johnson disappearing in the distance. And McElray in the AC Delco car. Looks like everything's okay on board that. Probably some frontal damage, but that's about all. So McElray in business in second place. And let's look how it happened. Here's the replay. Well, just looked like he got into the side of Jimmy. Jimmy turning into him maybe a little bit. But the 2-tangle racing incident, here's a slow-mo. Well, certainly Jimmy was the car in the lead, so I guess it's Andy McElray's responsibility to avoid him. Meantime, though, McElray in second, leading 2 other Chevy Camaros and a Chevy Capri. That's the Hoosier car of Chris Neifel, American Rookie of the Year in Trans Am some time ago. Oh, McElray being called into pit lane. Well, looks like officials think that Andy was at fault in that incident, and a stop-go penalty. Burns the rubber, boots it out of there, gets the 5-litre power going, trying to get back into this race. But Junior Johnson, the one with it under control. Neifel now in second, and Kane Scott in the Aztec car, holding down 3rd, so picking up valuable points here. Good comeback for him after crashing his car yesterday, courtesy of Kieran Wills offering him his Aztec Camaro to drive in these races. So a great gesture from a rival, and Scott has really made this car hum. And really working hard right now on Chris Neifel, trying to find a way by the Hoosier car. No luck so far, but down in pit lane, Murray Taylor's with one very interested spectator.
Well, it's all happening out there, Kieran Wills. Kane Scott doing a good job for you.
Yeah, he's doing a brilliant job out there, yeah, really good.
It's dangerous here in the pits. You were asking me whether we were safe.
Yeah, no, there's a bit different perspective for me, you know, it's very interesting.
Now, how do you reckon Kane's going? He's tucked right in there in 3rd now. Do you reckon he can get by?
Yeah, he's being held up, and it's very difficult. The cars are so close, you know, it's a beauty of them, I suppose. It makes good, hard racing. Yeah, and we changed the car. We put a different rear deck on it for this race, so, you know, the big one's to come. So hopefully, you know, he's going really well, and we'll learn something from it.
Well, the one teaching him all a lesson right now, Stephen Johnson in that Iowa TV3 car out front of the race. Chris Neifel, oh, tyres squealing there. Wayne Huxford in trouble. Spins the mother's Capri around in the first turn. He'll get going again, okay, but it's going to lose a place, I'd say. In fact, going to lose a few. Ray Williams, the one who inherits 4th spot out of that. Alan Ferguson in the Fleet Tyres car chasing him. But boy, Ray Williams, what a great rookie debut in this class. He's going to get done right now by Alan Ferguson, but still a fantastic first outing. Ahead of Peter Brock, you can see in the background. So well done, Ray Williams. Alan Ferguson, though, in the Fleet Tyres car, all very loose, but moving on through. Good job from him. Back with the leaders. This looks like the way it's going to end because Manfeild has got a bit of a buffer on Kane Scott right. Oh, Wayne Huxford loses it in a big way into the bank. Wow, that was a high-speed impact. Meantime, other side of the track, Stephen Johnson takes the checkered flag. Chris Manfeild will be second and Kane Scott third. Help arrives for Wayne Huxford. Good to see that he's okay. Yep, getting out of the car. Boy, that was a nasty accident.
We've been making adjustments to the car all weekend, trying to get it to stop better and get a bit more grip out of it. And it's just full on in the race like that. It was locking the rear brakes up, and at that particular time I was right on the left-hand edge of the circuit passing another car, and the rear brakes locked, and it just stepped the back out onto the dirt. And once that happened, it was gone. Just couldn't do anything about it. There's a lot of metal there to slow the cars down, which worked really well, but it went into the tyre wall side on. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, I think it's mainly body damage, so hopefully we'll have it fixed for next week.
So it crashed to end the race, and of course there was a crash to start it.
On the first flying lap, I think Andy got a little bit over-ambitious and gave me a tap and turned me around. But I mean, if you get involved in that sort of stuff, you suffer the penalty yourself. He had to stop, so he finished second last as well. So, you know, that's the way it goes.
Well, we had a pretty busy situation coming into the front corner where Jim had got really loose coming onto the front straight here around the big sweeper, and I saw Junior went up there, had the inside run at him, so I stuck hard on his bumper, and Jim was effectively hung out to dry, and then I just followed Stephen Johnson through the inside going round Coke, and as soon as Jim saw that I was coming through, he just turned hard right and hit the front of my car and spun around, and then I got rewarded with a stop-go penalty, which I think really sucks. That was very, very marginal, and you know, if the previous system stood, whereby a situation like this was disputable, then it could be sorted out later on. But giving a stop-go completely wrecked my race. I'm very, very unhappy at the moment.